Hi guys! Today I'm doing a beauty tutorial for you. It's kind of my everyday makeup look which I've been wearing since it's been so hot outside. It thrives on the fact that it is low coverage and it's quite a dewy look, because obviously when it's so hot outside everyone looks dewy, which is like beauty code for sweaty pig. So it's quite easy to maintain in the hot weather. I've got it on my face now because I've just actually filmed the whole of what you're about to see in a minute. So yeah, there's a disclaimer warning, you're about to see me with no makeup on whatsoever, so if you're a sexy guy or something, probably like just click like close the web page or whatever, just do that right now, that would be great. I mainly use, like I say, it's low coverage, so I'm mainly using quite light products for my foundation. Especially because like in the heat it can get really cakey if you wear like a really thick foundation. For example, Estee Lauder Double Wear doesn't work well with my skin in this heat. So I'm using Garnier BB cream and then like dusting some powder over the top. I'm not using concealer at all because again a lot of the concealers that I currently have are a tad too creamy, and again they kind of like get really mingy and gross in this weather. And the eyes are obviously really simple as well, so I hope you like it. Oh, and I've literally just woken up, well, not really, about an hour ago, but I'm still in my pyjamas and I've still got my bed hair, but check out, this is my outfit of the day, pyjama look. I'm like rocking the pyjama and the bed hair look. As you can see, it's like literally just shoved it up. Oh dear, but at least my face looks okay. Pretty. Okay, so without further ado, oh yeah, warning, I'm not sure if I've probably already said, but yeah, I'm not going to have makeup on. Oh, this, I have already said it, and I'm like that fixated with it that I've repeated myself. How embarrassing is that? But anyway, so let's get on with the tutorial. No makeup look coming at you. Okay, so I've already prepped my skin with my Clinique 3-step moisturising gel, and I'm just kind of patting that in a little further. I put it on about half an hour ago, but I'm just making sure that like it's sunk in as well as it can, there's no excess anywhere, because obviously that would make the look a bit too dewy. So anyway, there we go. So I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Studio Secrets Anti-Shine Mattifying Primer, which is a big mouthful. Just literally squirt a tiny bit onto your finger, because this is really good for keeping your makeup in place in the warmer months. Although I don't find it actually mattifies that well, but that's okay because this is a dewy look anyway, so it's not the end of the world that it doesn't do exactly what it says on the tube type thing. Next up I'm going to be using my Garnier Miracle Skin Perfector, which they call it their daily all-in-one BB cream, and there that is. I think I've got this in the shade medium. Oh, whoops, just dropped something, never mind. Oh, I've got a sniffle nose. Okay. So I'm going to squirt a bit of that onto my finger, and I'm really not using like a huge amount. I mean, maybe some people will look at that and think, whoa, that's way too much of that to be using, but keeping in mind I'm not using a foundation at all, I'm just using this tinted moisturiser type product. I don't think that that's a lot to be using, considering that the coverage is so light, and I'm not going to be using a concealer either, as I said. But so I've done one of my eyebrows. People always say to me like, oh my god, what are you doing to your eyebrows, when they see me doing them, but when they see it where I've got one done and one not done, then they're like, oh my goodness, yeah, I understand why you do your eyebrows now. It looks a lot better when you thicken them up. They frame your face, well, they frame my face much better. So I'm using my Benefit Browsings as usual. And I'm sure you can see just then that the box is kind of, the pan is pretty dirty at the moment, but whatever. Using my Royal Langnickel eyeliner brush, which is like perfect for kind of very precise line. First I sort of lined in under the bottom of the brow in a very smooth long line, which gives a lot more definition, and now I'm just sort of shading in, making things a lot darker. And I've given myself a bit more of an arch on the upper brow line as well, just to kind of sculpt things into place. I only started doing my eyebrows like maybe 2 years ago, like shading them in, and I literally would not go back for the world. Like, my eyebrows are so sparse when I don't shade them in, and I'm a huge fan of a nice thick brow, so it's a bit of a godsend that I discovered. I love how some people call miracles like, oh, it's a miracle the blind man could see, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a total miracle I learned how to sculpt my eyebrows. Makes me seem triple materialistic. Fab. So I'm using Hello Flawless by Benefit, which is their powder foundation. I'm just literally taking a little bit of that onto my big thick Royal Langnickel blush brush and dusting it lightly over my face. And this is literally one of the lightest coverings that I've like ever gone for with this product, because it is a sheer look. So now I've already done this side of my face with the contour. You can see like my cheekbone looks a lot more pronounced, and my little apple of my cheek looks a bit rosier. So I'm taking Hoola by Benefit and my Royal Langnickel contour brush, literally sucking my cheeks in, making a bit of a kissy face, and just brushing it up and down where my cheekbone is, just above my cheekbone. A lot of people do it right in the hollow of their cheekbone, but when I do that, that doesn't make my cheekbones look high, it just makes them look like more pronounced. So if I want a higher cheekbone, then I do it just above. And this is just a case of literally buffing it out constantly, because especially with this product, with the Hoola by Benefit, it can be very, very harsh if you're not careful. So it's really important to, like, you know, keep buffing and not leave it as it falls. So I'm using Spiced Apple Blush by Lumiere, and it's one of their mineral blushes. As you can see, this is like really, really harsh colour when you first dab it on, so you have to I usually put a bit on and then take a bit off on the back of my hand, and then like buff it in, sometimes add a bit more from the back of my hand after I've done that. Smiling loads to get the apples of your cheeks. Do you think I pull some right hilarious faces when I'm applying my makeup? It's great fun. It's like a facial exercise for the day. So just kind of taking a little bit of that off with my fingers there to make sure that it looks even to the other side. And I'm going to use a bit more of Hoola by Benefit, and I'm actually going to contour around like the top of my forehead to top of that huge forehead that I've got going on there, just to make it look like where the sunlight would hit. And then I'm also going to run it down either side of my nose to make my nose look a bit slimmer, and that's all part of the contour process, which I only really am starting to learn how to achieve at the moment. So you can see I've done my left eye, well, it's actually my right eye, but it looks like it's on my left to you. And now I'm going to get and do my right eye, which is my left eye in real life. So I'm using the Virgin from the Naked palette by Urban Decay, and one of my Eco Tools blending brushes. Just literally patting that. It doesn't even need to be precise, because all this, with the eyeshadow here, all we're doing is just trying to brighten the eye. So use a light colour over the whole of the eye, into the inner corner and underneath the lower lash line. Get my torture tool, my eyelash curlers, and I actually call it my torture tool because one of my friend's brothers once thought that that's genuinely what it was. So he saw my tweezers and my eyelash curlers and all these different things that I have, and he was like, oh my goodness, like, you girls, you use all these torture tools, which I thought was hilarious. So I guess you probably had to be there. But anyway, so now I'm using their Real by Benefit again. I'm such a Benefit whore, like, I love their products so much. And this is one of my favourite mascaras, especially for like separating the lashes. So I'm looking down and I'm very precisely combing this through my lashes. Usually if I'm not going for as pronounced a lash look, then I'll just kind of pat it on just to make them a bit darker. But in this case, with not using so much eyeshadow, like, I'm trying to make my eyes pop a bit more. So I'm combing it through like my middle lashes, and then on either corner of my lashes I'm using the end just to kind of poke away at those. That's the great thing about this mascara, is that the brush has got bristles on the end of the brush, like poking out of the end. so it's fab for like getting each and every little lash. I'm gonna I should always do my lower lashes first because I'm about to look up to do my lower lashes and get mascara all over my eyelid. But anyway, so I've like done some of that on my lower lashes. With my lower lashes, I do tend to kind of pat it on a bit more because it's more difficult to do the combing. So now it's time to make my lips nice and look relatively attractive. So I'm using Revlon's Just Bitten lip stain in the shade Frenzy, and I just kind of pat this on. I'm not drawing it on as precisely as some people do. I use kind of the flat side of the felt tip rather than the end, and this is just because I don't want this look to be too done. I like it to look like my lips have been, text message, like my lips have been just bitten as opposed to drawn on with a felt tip pen. And you'll be able to see in a second that this look is like really quite harsh, and it's like pop. See? Pop. So I'm going to tone it down a bit with my Revlon lip butter in the shade Peach Parfait. This is kind of a coral colour and it's perfect for summer, especially if you're doing a sort of less garish makeup look. It looks really good. Then finally, finalement, I'm going to use some of my Benefit Moonbeam, which is one of my favourite highlight products. People say that you're not supposed to use it over the top of powder foundation, but like whatever, I'm not bothered, like I always do it anyway. So I just take a bit with my finger and pat it on my cheekbones, and then start to blend that up onto my brow bone and around my temple area. Just because it makes when the light shines, it makes the planes in my cheekbones and my eyebrow area look a lot more bright and nice. Oh, and I like put a little bit down the length of my nose as well, which is kind of like what I did with the contour earlier on with the bronzer. It just makes my nose look slimmer, I reckon. Okay, so I'm going to take some of it as well and pop it in the cupid's bow of my lips because it makes the upper lip look a lot more full and delicious, I like to think. I'm going to pop a bit of it onto my lip as well, just to tone down the lip again, just a tad bit more. So that is essentially the look. I hope you like it. It's pretty simple. It was mostly contour and eye bright and mascara, and that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.